Hey guys, your favorite homesteader here. I want to show you real quick how I get my seeds out of my tomatoes. A lot of people ask me. I've been meaning to make a video for a long time and I just haven't got the chance. This is going to be a quick video though because I've already done a few batches and I just want to get through the method real quick. Hopefully it's enough information for you to take with you and do this yourself. So first I want to explain to you why I leave the tomatoes to ferment like they do. And it's for a few reasons. For one, it's as mature as the seed can possibly get. This is the farthest that the tomato can go. It's ripe all the way. That's the best that you're going to get. That's the best seed that you're going to get out of there. For two, because once it starts to ferment, you lose that jelly stuff that's on the inside, and it preserves the seed, and it helps you, as I'm going to show you, it helps you pull the seed out, and it's really just the best method that you can use. Now, I leave mine to sit in a bowl, and they get nice and stinky. Sometimes they get maggots, they get mold, they get fuzzy, nasty. That's the best that you can have them, okay? So you want to leave them like that. Some people put them in a jar with a little bit of water and put the lid on because they don't want bugs getting in and out. Some people leave them in the fridge like this, but really you want them to be hot outside and warm so that they start the fermentation process. So once you have them and they get nice and mushy like this one, you just want to bust it open. As you can see, what we're trying to get rid of is the jelly stuff that's usually in a tomato that's not as ready. This one, let me get one that's not as, it's not quite as fermented yet. And as you all know, you've got that jelly goo that holds the seeds in place inside the tomato. That's what you want to get rid of. This is one of the reasons that I just mentioned why you ferment. So once the fermentation process starts, this is actually the first moisture that's depleted from the tomato. So it's still holding the seeds in there, but it's out, and it makes it much easier, as you're about to see, to get rid of the seeds. So you just pull it open, give it a little squeeze, pop them down in there, and they're out. Give it a little rinse, and that's the end of it. Now, I've seen so many different methods. Some people cut these tomatoes and save them like that. The problem that you're going to have with that is that you're not going to get the dry fuzziness that I'm going to show you, which is what establishes the root system. They're going to be matted down and they're going to be sticky. For one, they're not going to germinate, and if they do, you're not going to get a strong root system and a healthy stalk, and it's not going to produce anything. You're likely not going to get any tomatoes. So many people have problems with this, and it's kind of hard to find the root problem. But, you know, in my mind, that's really what's going on, is that they were never preserving the seeds right in the first place, or they didn't preserve them in a way like this that actually does preserve them. So, getting a little squeeze in, just getting them right out. And this is super fun to let the kids help. My kids love squeezing tomatoes. So, as you see, they're just falling right out, right? And you got your little scrap bowl here. I'm going to rinse those again, too. But you just bust them open, empty, rinse. Next, bust them open, empty, rinse. Now, if you're stuck with a little bit of this flesh, that's fine. And this is why you use a screen sieve, because, you know, we're going to get rid of all that. You want a fine sifter that's going to do that for you, or strainer, rather. So rinsing and getting them out, rinsing and getting them out. You want to get all those big chunky pieces out, kind of skim the top. Seeds that float aren't your best option anyway, so it's okay to get rid of a lot of them. Now, if you're doing, this is a mixture that we're doing right here because we got a seed giveaway that's coming. But when you're doing varieties and you are doing them separate, that's to keep the true seed. Okay, so you obviously want to do those separate. You don't want to mix your tomatoes like this, or you're not going to know which seeds are which. So, got my scrap bucket here. That's going to go in the compost, or if you've got chickens, it's going to go to the chickens. And now it's just a matter of rinsing and straining. Okay, so as you can see with this is why we use the screen sieve, remember, is because I want to push all that jelly stuff that we talked about that didn't get to ferment. And as you can see how thin it is, so, you know, these are really good tomatoes. They were ready to go. And get all that stuff out of there. Now, remember what I said about the fuzziness of the tomato. Anyone that grows tomatoes knows that on the stalk and the stems you have those tiny fuzzy little roots that stick out, and that's what those are. Those are roots. You can essentially plant a tomato flat all the way in a trench bed and it's still going to grow for you. You're just going to have a massive root system. It's going to establish your root system very, very well. I know farmers that use that method, and it's never failed them. So, you know, being on a small plot of land, we can't do that, of course. So you just want to rinse, 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 rinse. These went really well. They're already ready to go. Sometimes at the end, if I still got some of that jelly stuff left, which I don't here, I'll do a little squirt of Dawn or even a squirt of bleach water just to get that off of there and to make sure that they clean and that when they dry and that they don't mold. That's what the little squirt of bleach water is going to do. I've never had an issue. I've been doing this for years and haven't had an issue yet with spoilage of seeds. And people will tell you that there's a shelf life on seeds. I don't buy that shit. So there you go, the bottom there. And there's your seeds. So I have, these are some from earlier and those. Again, because they're mixed. When I'm doing variety by variety, I'll scoop my little handful out and put it on a paper plate and flatten it out. Paper plates are your best bet to dry seeds. They really absorb all the moisture and they're dry in less than 24 hours. I don't have a plate out here to show you. I should have went and grabbed one before I did this video. But so as you can see, for the most part, there's your seeds. Now, I'm going to rinse these again before I pull them. I'm actually going to let them sit here for a while because I've got another couple rounds of these to do. And I just want to do it all at once to make it easier. So towards the end here, you know, you want to let them sit in there, get all that stuff out that you didn't get out of your strainer. It's okay to pull some of this off the top. But as you can see, for the most part, tons of seeds, okay, and there they all are. Gorgeous, perfect little seeds. And I'll show you a picture, a follow-up picture, because these get nice and fuzzy. And remember, like I said, you want to establish that root system. There's more than just sticking a seed in the ground and watching it grow. You really have to be educated and tend to your seeds and your crops, because it's all about establishing the root system before you transplant it outside. It's not just sticking it in there, growing it, and then put it somewhere, and then you have all these questions of why it's not growing. Well, because you didn't save the seed right in the first place, probably, all the way back to the tomato. And then it goes on to how you've established your root system, how you're watering, what kind of soil you're in, and so on and so forth. But it really starts here with seed saving. So, quick video, and I hope that helped you guys out, and happy homesteading.